Welcome back, family, to Northside LDN, caramba. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribing so you're notified every day when we drop multiple videos surrounding the biggest transfer news around Arsenal. So make sure you're doing all that good stuff. Don't be a viado, don't be a filo da puta. Make sure you're smashing the like button and you're subscribing. Also, follow me on Instagram as well, NorthsideLDN. Make sure you're doing all that stuff for everything I drop on my IG page as well. So make sure you do all of that before anything, familia. And listen, today, Arsenal are being linked to Joshua Zirkzee. We've been getting linked to this guy for multiple transfer windows. So it seems to be something in it. He might not be option A, he might not be option B, maybe he's C or D. But he is potentially a player that Arsenal are looking at. We keep getting linked to him. He plays for Bologna in the Italian league in Serie A. He's 23 years old, and his price tag is a lot cheaper than the other strikers that we've been looking at. And that is probably why we're looking at him. Obviously, we've got a lot of players that we need to shift. There's a lot of players that are dead wood that are no longer in this manager's plans. And maybe this guy is the guy to come into the team if we can't offload as many players as we want. We're seeing links about Fabi Vieira or ESR leaving, Reece Nelson as well to be moved on. We're expecting Nketiah to be moved on. If all these players don't get moved on and we don't have the funds to address every position that we want, maybe Zirkzee is the guy to come in at a cheaper price. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you rate Zirkzee? Do you want him? Have you seen him play? Do you rate him? But listen, we keep getting links, and today we're getting more links that Edu and Arteta are trying to complete the deal of Joshua Zirkzee to Arsenal, the 23-year-old Dutch striker that plays in La Liga. Now, when you look at his stats for Serie A, 34 appearances, 11 goals, 5 assists. It's not the most convincing. It's not the most convincing, if I be completely honest. Then you look in the Italian Cup, 3 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists. Not bad, 3 assists, three goals and assists. Listen, that's not too bad. But at the same time, he can play as a central striker or a second striker. Is he the guy that we need? Is he the guy to get us over the line? I mean, he was at Bayern Munich. Why didn't it work out there? If he's so great, why didn't it work out for him at Bayern Munich? That's the first thing I'm thinking of. You know, if you're really a big talent, you're gonna stay at Bayern Munich. You know, you're gonna be like Gnabry, you're gonna be like Coleman, you're gonna be like players like that. They're gonna want to keep you and use you, especially in a season where they lost the league. I'd expect them to want to keep Zirkzee if he's such a big talent, and that's why for me, I'm a little bit like, nah, I don't really want Zirkzee. I don't really rate it. When I'm looking at Zirkzee, 11 goals isn't good enough. I mean, Nketiah, that's about as many goals as Nketiah would score, and we deem Nketiah not good enough. It's less goals than Kai Havertz, and I deemed him a flop. Yeah, and I know it's going to be for less money. Zirkzee is for around £40 million, and Kai Havertz was around 65, a third high signing, but still, there's still, you know, I still expect better. I don't know what he would be bringing that our current strikers haven't got. Kai Havertz scoring 13 goals for me isn't good enough. Jesus, his best tally is 14 goals, and I don't think that's good enough. And this guy in an inferior league, with all due respect to Serie A, it's an inferior league, he can only score 11 goals. Desculpa, mas nah. Por amor de Deus, like, nah. I don't understand what he's bringing to this team that we don't already have. 11 goals isn't good enough. So we can definitely see that he's not going to be a clinical goal scorer. And I think there's better options out there. We already have some options in the Premier League that I think are better. Isak is better. I think Ivan Toney's better. I think Ollie Watkins is better than this guy. So there's multiple options out there that I think are better. I even think somebody like Gyökeres at Sporting Lisbon is better, even though I'm not fully convinced that Gyökeres is going to be the right fit for Arsenal. Or he can replicate his goal tally at Sporting at Arsenal, as going up from the Portuguese league up to the Premier League, you're going up a lot of levels. So listen, I think Zirkzee is way down the pecking order, in my opinion. I don't put him in the top 5 strikers that we can look at. I still think there's other strikers that are a lot better, a lot more clinical within their league, and a lot more established. So that is why I wouldn't personally go for Zirkzee. But this club has done a lot of things that I wouldn't want them to do. I mean, they got Fabi Vieira when I wanted them to get Maddison. They didn't get a right winger, and they re-signed Reece Nelson. They didn't give Balogun a chance and get me a proper striker, and they kept Nketiah and re-signed him to a new contract. So listen, sometimes it's worked. Look, we paid 50 mil for Ben White. I didn't expect Ben White to become the player that he's become, which I think he's a very capable right back. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think the problem is we're at a stage where we need players that are going to get us over the line into the next level. And I don't see Zirkzee being that player, being that difference maker in the Champions League knockout stages, being a difference maker in the final stages of the season, in the crunch end of the season. I don't see him being that player to be clutch and get us those goals against Aston Villa that we dropped, get us those goals against West Ham when we lost to West Ham, Newcastle as well, being a difference maker against Newcastle. That's where we drop points. And I don't see this player being the example or being good enough to get us over the line against those in those kind of situations. Champions League against Bayern Munich, we're losing. Is he going to be the difference maker? Yeah, we may face Bayern Munich, we may face somebody else, but the point is getting to the quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Champions League and then to the finals. Is he going to be that clutch player that gets us over the line, that gets us the win and gets us the trophy? I don't really see that. I really don't see that. I can't lie. So that's how I look on it. Some Bayern Munich fans that come in the chat have told me that he's very similar to Firmino, or very similar to Gabby Jesus. That his strongest attributes are linking play, dropping into the midfield, linking play, bringing in the likes of someone like Saka or Martinelli into the game, bringing Odegaard into the game, and connecting the midfield to the attack. We already have that. We've got Kai Havertz that can do that, which I'm not a major fan of, and I don't think he's of the level, but we've got Kai Havertz that can do that. Then we've got Jesus that can do that, so I just don't understand it. I don't understand what this guy will bring that we have any different. So I don't personally believe. Listen, I don't know what this club's going to do, to be completely honest. These are just stories that are out there, and we're talking about it. So a lot of times I don't understand the moves from this club, and this would be one of the transfers that I just don't understand. I don't understand how this makes us stronger. He doesn't have any special attributes that none of the rest of our players don't have. And really and truly, if we keep it real, Kai Havertz's return is better than this guy, and this guy is playing in a lower league. Kai Havertz had 13 goals this season. This guy's got 11 goals in the Serie A. Is he going to be able to step up to the Premier League, where it's going to be a stronger, faster league? I really doubt it. I really doubt it. Jesus, he can at least score 14 goals in a season. This guy can only do 11. It's not that convincing. It really isn't that convincing. And then if he doesn't make it as a striker, unlike Jesus, he's not able to play in any other position. He can only play as a striker. So if he doesn't work as a striker, if we were to bring him in and he doesn't work as a striker, I mean, where are you going to play him? Where are you going to play him? He kind of reminds me like Kai Havertz. If he doesn't play as a striker, he's ineffective. You can't play Zirkzee in the midfield. You can't play him as a winger. You can't play him anywhere else but a striker. Then all of a sudden, you're sacrificing your team to play around a player that's not good enough. That's not the way I want the team to be built. I don't think the team should be built around players that are not good enough and trying to put square pegs and round holes. I just don't understand how that will make us stronger. So listen, it's not about versatility. It's about we need specialists in their positions. We need a goal scorer that's actually going to be clinical. We need a goal scorer that's actually going to put his chances to bed. That's what we need. We don't need a striker that is going to be an extra person that could do a job, but ultimately isn't good enough to get us to where we want to get to. We need a 20-goal-a-season striker. That is what we need, bare minimum. Yeah, and people may talk about, there isn't world-class strikers out there. There are strikers out there that I believe in an Arsenal team or a team as good as ours can get 20-plus goals. So let's see. Let's see. I mean, at the end of the day, if you get a good enough striker, I mean, Trossard got what, 17 goals this season, not playing as a starter, not having certain minutes, as somebody as Saka, which played every single game, and he got 17 goals in his team. So there are goals to go around, and I think with the right striker, Arsenal can score 20 goals a season, but I just don't see it being Zirkzee. The only thing they keep talking about is the fact that he's got a £40 million buyout clause. But yeah, reportedly also adds that 4-year contract is reportedly already on the table for the striker, along with a significant increase in wages. However, Bologna reported not to want to sell Zirkzee for less than £34 million, 40 million euros. Listen, I don't know, man. And they go on to say Zirkzee, meanwhile, has been heavily linked with a move to the Emirates Stadium following his impressive performances in the Serie. The 23-year-old is linked to Man United, Inter, and AC Milan. I just don't see why Inter Milan would want him. They've got Lautaro Martinez, so why would Inter Milan want him? Man United, I don't think they could get another striker that ain't going to be ripping up trees. They already spent a lot of money on Rasmus Haaland from Atalanta, and it hasn't gone to plan. I don't see him going to AC Milan. So I think this is all agent talk, if I'll be completely honest. I think it's all agent talk. I think it's the agent gassing it up. And it always happens every time a player's linked away. They always say, oh, he's linked to this club and that club and that club. That's all to just rush you to think, oh, we better act now before Man United get him or Inter get him or AC Milan get him. If they want him, they should get him. We should, really and truly, we should already know what our targets are. And we shouldn't be rushed into making any rash decisions into what the players that we want at Arsenal. I just definitely do not want Zirkzee. He's not the striker that I want. And I don't think he's the striker to get us over the line. But we keep getting linked to him. So, listen, we keep getting linked to him. He keeps getting linked to Arsenal. Is he in our plans? Do you think he's in our plans? Do you think he's Arteta's first choice? Do you think he's Edu's choice? Let me know. I just think he's a cheap option and he's still young. But when we got Champions League, a lot of people said, now we can kick on to get world-class players. This is not the world-class player. Look, we did well when we got Declan Rice. I think that was a statement signing. I think that was a signing of intent. And we need to push on from there. And we need another big signing. We need a couple of big signings, to be honest. But we need a big strike. We need a striker. We need a proper striker now. We need a proper striker because Jesus keeps getting injured. Havertz is not going to give us 20 goals a season. And Nketiah, he can't even get a game anymore. So that is what we need. We need a proper striker, and we're lacking in that department. We're not lacking in terms of personnel. We're lacking in quality. So for me, if we get Zirkzee, we're just adding quantity, not quality. That's how I look at it. It's not, we haven't bought him for quality. We just bought him to be another striker, to be another option, so that we can move on Nketiah or move on somebody else or move on Jesus, So that's what it looks like to me, familia. Listen, make sure you're liking and subscribing. Let me know what you think about Zirkzee and the constant articles around Zirkzee coming to Arsenal. Do you believe them? Do you not? Would you want him at Arsenal? Would you not? If not, what striker do you want at Arsenal? What player do you think we should be linked to? And yeah, let me know, man. Smash the like button. Hit the bell notification, all that good stuff, familia. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're smashing the like button and all of that. We will be back at 1 p.m. with more transfer news. And then we'll be back at 10 p.m. with more transfer news. Make sure you're doing all that good stuff. Smash the like button and do all that good stuff, caramba. And I'm out. Love, familia.